Universal is known in the theme park world as being the place you go to ride the movies. It is what they use to attract people to their parks. Rides like the Harry Potter attractions and Spider-Man are gigantic draws to the parks. Unlike Disney, Universal really hasn't ever attempted to create attractions that can stand on their own without any attachment to existing properties like the Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, Enchanted Tiki Room, or others. But that's not to say they never did this. We are talking, of course, about Universal's The Lost Continent. Islands of Adventure opened up in contrast to any park Universal had ever made. Universal's parks typically follow a general studio theme. They may have an individual immersive land, but it's all tied together by a general movie studio theme. Islands of Adventure did not do that, instead taking more of a Disney-like approach for an immersive theme park experience. And with the exception of the Lost Continent, all of the lands and attractions were based on popular pre-existing properties, from the works of Dr. Seuss to Marvel Comics to classic animation, to a then recent movie series. Then there was The Lost Continent. The Lost Continent was Universal's biggest ever attempt to create a theme park experience that was exclusive to the parks and not based on any pre-existing film, TV show, book, or anything else. The Lost Continent attempted to create a theme park land based on a lot of different mythology all tied together, but mainly 3 different myths. The myths of Atlantis, Sinbad, and of Merlin. And it would open with 4 major attractions: Dueling Dragons, the Flying Unicorn, the 8th Voyage of Sinbad, and Poseidon's Fury, with the Merlin section of the park being the only section to have more than one attraction. So let us take you on a quick tour of the attractions of the land, from Seuss Landing to Jurassic Park. As you walk through, you pass Poseidon's Fury, an attraction that has seen a lot of changes throughout the years, even to the basic storyline, which has changed from a more serious approach to a more humorous one and switched whether Poseidon is the villain or hero of your story, and changed the entire animation design and most of the special effects, but has maintained the exact same layout and sets throughout the entire experience. The basic idea is you are being sent under the sea to witness a battle between Poseidon and other forces. It currently remains as one of the most impressive walk-through attractions ever created by Universal. The 8th Voyage of Sinbad was a stunt show, and let's leave it at that. It closed relatively recently, and it is uncertain what is going to become of its theater. Then there was the Merlin section of the land, nicknamed Merlinwood. It included 2 major attractions, the Flying Unicorn and Dueling Dragons, which was a set of 2 dueling suspended coasters. This was an incredible feat at the time, and both coasters on their own were amazing, but together they were one of the best attractions in the park. Also in the land was Mythos, which consistently ranked among the best theme park restaurants in the world. This land was never the most popular at the park, and Universal was often looking for a way to draw more people into this section. Myths simply weren't drawing enough people to the area or bringing them to the park in general, in the same way that other things in the park like Spider-Man was. Then came a certain boy wizard. Once Universal acquired the theme park rights for Harry Potter, it was not difficult for them to decide what section of the park they would replace to put in Harry Potter. The Merlinwood section of the park was selected, and the 2 existing rides were incorporated into the design of the land. This signaled a failure for Universal's only real attempt at creating unique park attractions, based on their own original storylines, not pre-existing ones. The attractions, however, specifically the 2 coasters of the land, were well worth reusing. Dueling Dragons became Dragon Challenge, and they still dueled for the early history of the ride, until some instance caused the coasters to no longer duel and then chase each other. The ride story was changed from 2 dragons fighting in a castle to the Triwizard Tournament from the 4th Harry Potter book, Goblet of Fire. The unicorn-themed kiddie coaster was changed to Flight of the Hippogriff, with the ride getting some new ride vehicles and theming to fit the new area. While Hippogriff fit in relatively well, Dragon Challenge did stick out. The land was highly themed, and having bright red and blue coaster tracks tower over the land didn't really work. It took away from the magical village theming of Hogsmeade and Hogwarts, leading to it eventually being replaced by Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. Today, the remainder of Lost Continent remains as a kind of sad reminder of what once was. Very few people will ever experience the attractions here, and despite the incredible theming specifically of the land itself, it really has become just the way that you get to Harry Potter Land. Poseidon's Fury has become the last functioning attraction in the land, and who knows how long it is going to last. Universal focusing most of their attention on Epic Universe will likely give the land a bit more life, but it is easy for Universal to look at this land first when they are looking to add something new to Islands of Adventure in the future. Rumors have been swirling for years as to what will eventually replace this land, with everything from Zelda to Forbidden Forest, although that ended up replacing Dragon Challenge, being discussed. There's no way to know what Universal will replace this with, but it seems almost certain that it will be the next thing in the park to leave. Universal took a risk with this land. They didn't base it on any of their pre-existing properties, and tried to follow the Disney model of making the park its own property. Unfortunately, confusing stories, a lack of general theming, and really a lack of interest kept this from ever becoming the success that Universal wanted it to be. To many visitors of the park now, it is nothing more than a highly decorated pathway that you have to take on your way to Hogwarts, completely ignoring the immense amount of work that went into designing this land and the really imaginative attractions that currently and once existed within it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. It really helps us out a lot. What's your favorite thing in the Lost Continent? Be sure to let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.